celebrating the Indomitable Lionesses of Cameroon, who won at the penalty shoot yesterday in Morocco against the host country, 3 goals to 1. In this edition of Cameroon Wahala, we are focusing on the chances this individual created for themselves, especially the goalkeeper Bihina, who did everything to give outstanding performance that has helped to carry herself and her teammates ahead. Brothers and sisters of 237, good morning. This is Cyril Demey again, and for once, let me savor this before I analyze it. Because what happened in Morocco deserves a moment. Because before I reach for the institutional critics this channel usually deal with, I want to first of all really give kudos to our sisters who prove that women can be good above cooking and furnishing emotion stability to the family. And the head coach Ngele herself said it, that the place of women isn't just in the pitch but equally in the management board of the team. Thanking Samuel Etofisa and the federation for trusting her, and the combination of both local and international administrators that have made a team that was relegated at marginal position to today have ambition that comes Sunday they might back their first continental trophy. Let's start with the number because they tell their own story. Cameroon wasn't even originally qualified for this Women AFCON 2026. They were called up after the tournament expanded from 12 team to 16, not favorites, not expected, and yet will become African champion for the first time in their history after their 3 losses previously, all 3 against Nigeria in 2004, 2014, and 2016. 10 years after their last final, they have returned through the back door of Wilcott's invitation, and they could walk out through the front door of a continental title. Someone even flagged me then that Denmark in 1992 parallel had a similar situation. They were not qualified for the Euro, called up after Yugoslavia exclusion mid-war, and they went on to become European champions against all odds. History loves this kind of repetition. So if come Sunday, the Indomitable Lion are to back the Continental Trophy, it should not be a surprise to you who is privileged to be in this channel. And what stands out in the post-match statement isn't the arrogance of victory that is usually observed. It is the humility of an accepted second chance. Valentine Ngele put it in simple terms: a team that comes from far behind doesn't put pressure on itself. It just moves forward match by match. She also used that microphone to send to her fellow coaches and to the young women still hesitating to train in this profession. That is not a small detail. That is a political statement in the noble sense of the word. The place of Cameroonian women in sports leadership is not just on the pitch, says Valentine Ngidi. Makeli Bihina, for her own part, chose to thank her teammates and the crowd rather than claim credit for what was individually a historical performance. And the legend Thomas Kono, a man who once defended Cameroon's goal at the highest level himself, didn't hold back his words. He called the performance incredible and asked the Lionesses to keep the country dreaming until the very end. When Kono talks goalkeeping, brothers and sisters, we simply listen. Not because that is our own job on this channel. Let's look at the statement from the Minister of Sports, Professor Narcis Moale Kombi. The text is polished, protocolary, celebrating the player, fighting spirit and Lions spirit. Nothing wrong with the congratulations themselves. They all deserve. But Mayor Cyril asks The question we ask here often, beyond the press release, what has the Cameroonian state actually invested in women's football for a last minute wildcard team to still make it to the finals? But Valentine Ngele herself thanked Feka Foods and its president Samuel Edo for trusting the technical staff, a mixed staff combining international experience with knowledge of Cameroonian football. That's a point to create the federation with, and we say so plainly without cynicism or bad faith. But one shallow doesn't make a summer. The real question we have been asking or tracking for months on this channel remains open. Does this qualification come with a structural plan for women's football, a national league, a traditional training center, professional contracts for local players, or will we, as usual, settle for victory messaging without consolidating what make the victory possible? Sunday, the Lionesses face Malawi for the first title in their history. Win or lose, one thing should remain after the final whistle. These women showed on a continental stage what discipline, team solidarity, and technical competence can produce even without the resources of Africa's football giants. So, my serious message is simple: celebrate Sunday fully without reservation. But on Monday, those running Cameroon sports, minister and federation alike, will owe an answer to a question we won't drop. Will this generation of lionesses get the investment they deserve, or will they become like so many before them, a parenthesis we celebrate and then forget until the next AFCON? If you want us to keep following this story after the final whistle, not just Sunday's euphoria, but what's happened next, subscribe to our channel, hit the bell, join the membership. We will be there for the finals, and we'll still be there asking the question, what matter once the spotlight fades? Go Lionesses, first star within your reach now. Cyril the man for Cameroon updates and Wahala, African politics, African news without filter. I'll be yours again. Take care of yourself. Bye.